In terms of like PP politics, anything like that, what can you talk about? Yeah, that was just a screwball question. Came out of left field. Yeah, we got to be sensitive on this subject. Everyone knows Thailand and how things are. I don't think that's news for anyone, and we'll cut out anything we can't say.
I mean, I think what's interesting about the development of PP is a lot of the people that own businesses on the island aren't from Krabi or aren't from PP. I mean, even ourselves, like we're not.
Well, who would be from PP?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing.
And this is what I mean. Like, so the actual locals that used to live there, or like that was there when for example, when my parents got there in the past, they're not the people with businesses, and so when you get like a small place like PP and a lot of outsiders come in and they own different types of businesses, they've like bought these lands of the locals. There's always going to be some friction. There's always going to be some collaboration, and that's kind of like how PP is. It's just a group of people coming in from all over Thailand, and trying to make a living, trying to make their businesses work there.
How is it as like a family and a community on the business side? Like you're like, when you're back there, do you know every inch and square mile of that island? And does everyone get along quite friendly?
I mean, for me, yeah, for sure. Like, I think it's easier for me in terms of, like connecting with people than it probably was for my parents, because I grew up there. Like, a lot of the people on the island saw me growing up. And now, like on PP, it's the next generation now. So, other hotels, for example, it's their sons and their daughters doing their businesses now too. So, I mean, we get on because we used to play together as kids, and so there's like this, a more of like a community vibe there than it might have been before. I mean, like I would assume. And
because everything's quite stable and stabilized in terms of the business.
Yeah, whereas before it was kind of like a little bit more.
Yeah, everyone's trying to grab their piece of the pie, and how do we develop? And that's normal anywhere in the world when something's developing.
Exactly, it's just that PP is so small. Like we're like door to door to each other. Yeah, so it's.
What was it like as a kid growing up on PP? I mean, what were you doing day to day for fun?
I mean, when I tell people this story just because it like really gives you a big picture about how it used to be, right? Like when I was a kid, and you couldn't find like your friends or your cousins or something, you remember the shoe print of their shoes, and you can trace the shoe print on the sand and find where they are. And that's like how underdeveloped it used to be. So when I lost my cousin, I remember his shoe print, and I just like slowly trace the steps, and you'll find him eventually.
And this happened like numerous times.
Yeah. And like, that's how you find people. And like we were a small bungalow back in the day. We used to have like these trees growing in front of the the resort. And like, that's when I learned how to climb trees. I actually learned how to walk on PP on the beach. My dad taught me how to walk there. I learned how to swim there. I mean, yeah, it was a really good childhood. We're very lucky.